Hello and welcome to this video on an object of my choice, and today I decided to do it on this. It's a helmet steel airborne troops Mk.2 and it was worn by the British and Polish airborne in the Second World War. Now why have I decided to do a video on this particular object? Well, mainly this year has seen the anniversary of both D-Day and Operation Market Garden, which saw extensive use of airborne forces wearing helmets just like this one. And for me personally, the D-Day anniversary is particularly important because in my spare time I do a lot of reenacting, and one of the units I portray is the 2nd Oxford Bucks, who captured Pegasus Bridge in the early hours of 6th of June. And I had the privilege of visiting the Pegasus Bridge on this year and actually provided an honour guard from midnight to midday on the 6th of June. The Mk.2 version of this helmet was produced in late 1943 and issued in February 1944. They were given to all airborne troops, so that includes the airborne infantry such as the Oxford Bucks and the parachute regiments, as well as the glider pilots whose job was to land the Horsa gliders, and the airborne engineers who often accompanied the airborne division on missions, on operations such as D-Day or Market Garden, usually to either prevent a bridge from being blown up or to blow the bridge themselves. Why did the airborne need their own special type of helmet? Why didn't they use a Brodie helmet which had served the British Army so well since the First World War? Well, as you notice, this one, as opposed to the Brodie helmet here, doesn't have a brim. Now the brim of a Brodie helmet, if you were to use in a parachute jump, would be likely to catch the wind as you jump and could yank either the helmet off or do some damage to the head and neck of a paratrooper. Similarly, the Horsa gliders and the Dakota planes used to make parachute drops were quite cramped, so you needed helmets to be as compact as possible. And it was this same reason, the compactness of a tank, as to why the tank crews were issued a helmet very similar to this, as shown here. As I have said, this helmet was issued to all airborne troops. Now this particular style would be more used by the airborne engineers or the airborne infantry, and that's because, as you can see, there have been attempts to try and camouflage the helmet and break up the outline using these bits of hessian or burlap cloth. Also, like foliage could be used for this as well, like they might stick leaves or twigs in there to try and break it up as much as possible. But glider pilots actually tended not to wear the netting or the camouflage because their role was slightly different. The glider pilots weren't actually expected to be involved in the hottest part of the action, and that they were expected to try and get back in one piece as much as possible, because it's really difficult to train glider pilots. So an experienced glider pilot was very valuable. I mean, for instance, the one glider pilot on the D-Day operation managed to land the glider within a stone's throw of what became known as Pegasus Bridge. So it was invaluable that he came back alive, so he could try and do that again for another operation. The Mk.2 helmet, having been used in Operation Market Garden and D-Day, was replaced quite quickly with a Mk.3 helmet, which left most of it the same, but actually only adjusted the chin strap. The Mk.3 helmet would then go on to serve in Britain and some Commonwealth countries up to the Falklands War, and also was used in Northern Ireland, where the only adjustment was to add a perspex visor to protect from projectiles. Thank you for watching this video, and here's a picture of me wearing the airborne helmet at Pegasus Bridge.